You are now listening to PODCORN, episode 12, for June 19th, 2013.
This is BMontclare, comics writer, bringing you PODCORN from the streets of New York City, West Village, summer night. I'm with AmyReeder.
You can hear the breeze.
No, you cut in.
I'm sorry. Hi.
I wasn't ready for you yet.
How's it going?
You came in about 5 seconds too early.
I thought you wanted me to get involved. I thought you were looking at me like I needed to say something.
I was looking at you just trying to make you laugh, but it didn't work.
Oh.
Is that how you laugh?
Well, I was trying to be like a girl.
Really?
Stereotype.
PODCORN.
PODCORN podcast. Right?
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Nice summer night. Finally, summer's come to New York. It's been late. Came late, right?
Yeah, Amy bought an air conditioner a month ago, but still hasn't set it up.
No, well, it's not hot yet enough. But it will be, so I gotta clean my windows and then I'll put it in.
New air conditioner?
Yeah, small.
What else is cool in Amy's world?
What is cool? Let me tell you what's cool. I'm doing a convention the end of this month in New York.
That's
right. If you guys
right.
go to Wizard World, I will be there.
I'll be there.
And so will Brandon. We'll be sharing a table. Table A1.
Yes.
Like the steak sauce. We might even sell steak sauce, you know.
Basically, they said, Brandon and Amy, you're A number one.
Yes. And, you know, A for Amy, too. There's just no way you're going to forget it. So you should definitely come, because we might even have, like, some cool stuff that we haven't had before, you know. Even though Rocket Girl's not out, we might have some Rocket Girl goodies.
Yeah.
Fingers
We're hoping.
crossed.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
getting some stuff made up. But talk about Rocket Girl.
Yeah.
If people come by, we'll show them some sneak peeks, probably.
Oh, yeah, we'll have, like, you know.
But it's a
sneak peek and
Wizard
glance
show.
at.
They've done a few shows in New York, but not at this venue. This venue's actually downtown. It's in the
On
East
a
Village.
pier.
But it's not on the even south or west side where most of the piers are. It's on it's on the east side. So it's
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really quite familiar. I thought I was on the west, so that shows how much I know. I guess.
well, most are, but this is kind of like in the Lower East Side. So
Okay. Nice. Well, I'm excited.
you know what else is cool?
What?
Making comics, making Rocket Girl.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun actually. Right now, I'm doing some thumbnails, and it's always really hard for me, but I'm starting to get in the zone right at the end of doing them. That's usually what happens. So I finally find a pattern right at the end.
But we're not going to talk about Rocket Girl.
We're not. We're going to talk about certain, characters, existing characters that we wouldn't mind working on.
Yeah, obviously Amy's worked with Batwoman,
Yes.
Madame Xanadu,
And Supergirl.
and Supergirl.
Mhm.
A little bit of work I did for Marvel. Got to work with. I did a team book, so that was pretty cool. So the team was officially. I got to work with Man-Thing, Howard the Duck, Nighthawk, She-Hulk, and Frankenstein's monster.
Cool.
So I got a lot of room to go up.
Yeah, those aren't your top notch. She-Hulk's kind of big though.
Kind of. I would really like to do Hulk. And I've said that plenty of times before.
I thought you did sort of do the Hulk.
Hulk
you
was
did
in it.
Gray Hulk.
Yeah. Well, I want to do more with Grey Hulk. Grey Hulk was in Fearsome 4 that I did. But it was an alternate reality Grey Hulk.
No, but what was the one
Very
that you
short.
did? What was the one
Oh,
that
I
you
did
did
a
with
Hulk.
Simon
Yeah,
Billsy?
that's true.
Billsy.
I did a Hulk.
Simon
I did
Billsy.
an 8-page Hulk story with Simon Bisley.
Yeah, see? What is it that draws you to the Hulk?
Hulk is cool, and I was thinking about some of the characters before this podcast, and they're really like the atypical characters, you know. So Hulk is just cool because he's the monster within, right? So it's a good dynamic. I always thought it was interesting. One of the things that editorial kind of needs ebb and flow, and I think pretty much recently you can't have Hulk being too violent or causing too much destruction.
Really?
And I think that comes down from,
Yeah.
the corporate, needs for the character.
I guess he's supposed to be a hero, so.
Yeah, and even in the old TV series, which was, it was the monster, or any of the cartoons, he would never really, he would lose control, but somehow he wouldn't kill anybody, and you can kind of work that into the story of he's misunderstood. But if I were to do Hulk, I would like to not have any restrictions. That's what everyone always says that, right?
Yeah.
But it would be interesting, and I think it's funny because the one you really want to make a bastard isn't Hulk, but it's Bruce Banner, because he's such kind of like a nebbish guy, and he's always trying to. He's so repressed,
Yeah, I guess
that you want him to kind of be, instead of him being like the heroic,
trying to stop himself.
Yeah, the heroics. Yeah, oh, I can't. I must forbear. It's like just Jesus Christ, man. Like the Hulk is almost a better guy than Banner, and that would always be to me an interesting and a fun way to approach it.
That's interesting. That's cool.
But Hulk would be difficult for you.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah.
Just visually, it's not...
Well, it'd be great. It would be good for me to do. I really need to, I feel like I don't really draw bulky guys, right? So if I went to the other extreme and drew the Hulk, then I feel like it would force me to finally, I think going to the other extreme might really help me get the stuff that's in between later on, too. You know what I mean?
But would it be interesting just because it's a challenge, or could you get into... Because it's the furthest from...
Yeah.
If Rocket Girl's a superhero, which she kind of is,
yeah,
and Hulk's a superhero, can you get... I don't think you can get more, further apart than those two.
I don't know.
Visually,
thematically,
it's
hard for me to picture right now, because I find that when I draw, especially the face type, when I draw that kind of a face, it's always grimacing and angry. I feel like it never looks that cool and all that stuff. But I think I could figure out how to love it and all that.
You're an angry person sometimes.
I am an angry person.
You think you could channel that into just destruction? Because to me, Hulk's Banner and Hulk is like a blackout drunk. You know what I mean? It's he should wake up. What did I just do?
Honestly, I'm even as far as my brain capability goes, I think I might even be better at picturing that sort of thing. I have a very morbid imagination, and I imagine people doing horrible things. Not usually me, but them doing it to me. And I hope this isn't too dark, but sometime a few years ago, I kind of had this trend where I would imagine people who are close to me, where they accidentally do something wrong that hurts me, they get upset and then they accidentally hurt me more than they meant to, and then they just keep doing worse and worse things because it keeps making them more and more scared to the point that they murder me. Sounds really horrible, but just imagining family members and best friends and stuff doing that to you is
that's pretty weird, Amy.
I guess so. I'm saying I can picture somebody. And you
weren't anxious that this would actually happen?
No, I wasn't anxious that it would actually happen, but I guess at the time I felt and I still feel this way sometimes, that anybody can be capable of just going crazy and hurting you.
Well, that's what
not to that extreme, but mentally,
Well, isn't that the Hulk, right? I mean, it's within
well, that's
yourself.
what I'm saying. So it's exactly the Hulk.
We should do some Hulk.
I'll think about. Maybe I'll do some sketches and see if I'm Hulk capable.
Cool.
Because that is something I really need to do for my own artistic good.
We can call Mark Panicia, the Hulk editor at Marvel.
Hey,
say
Mark.
We want to do some Green Goliath.
Yeah. Might be kind of cool.
Yeah. My Hulk story was in Hulk 620, 8-page backup with Simon Bisley. A lot of fun working with Simon.
There's
painted.
two people, right? You had
it was
the Hulk and then Korg?
Yeah, Korg is this this rock alien. And the whole point, there was a series of backups, all different people worked on them, but they were all the supporting characters of Hulk getting a little bit of a spotlight. So I pulled Korg. And the truth of the matter is I didn't know who Korg was.
He looks like the Thing.
He looks like the Thing, and they said Korg, and I said awesome, and then I went to Wikipedia while I was on the phone.
Oh.
I say Korg, yeah, and then I knew when I saw it. I said, okay, that's the guy.
That's pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
I hope they didn't hear your little fingers typing.
No.
Sorry, I called your fingers little. They're big.
I have medium fingers.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so let's see. Character... Change the subject. Characters that I would want to do. A lot of times people ask me what I would draw, and you know, like I sometimes get drawn to the more like obscure characters and think about what I like to do with them and stuff. But like as far as like well-known characters go, I've always wanted to take a stab at Wonder Woman. She's so classic, you know. And I think that she's also kind of corny in her nature. And there's just been nobody can figure out how to do her right, in my opinion, to make her less corny. It's kind of hard. I mean, they're doing a better job at it, I guess.
Well, what do you mean by corny? Not self-aware? I mean, is that all superheroes, or why her specifically?
No, just the fact that, like, I mean, why is she wearing an American flag when she's Greek? And
she's not Greek. She's Amazonian.
Yeah, but isn't it from some sort of Greek island?
I bet somebody
Greek
explained
mythology?
that once in the last 75 years.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like, I think that's kind of silly. I think also in the past, I mean, I like how Cliff Chang draws her, but in the past, like, the idea is that she's kind of hulky, and I like that. But I think, like, they would draw her very 80s, where, like, she'd have big shoulders, but then, like, no butt. So, I felt like she needed a butt. I don't know. It's really random stuff. It's not like that's all that I care about, but that's, like, what I used to think about. But I would like to draw her because she's so classic, and I would want to, like, pull it off. I want the
iconic,
challenge.
right? A lot of people want
Yeah.
to work on Superman, you know what I mean, for that reason. Superman, you can say, oh, well, you know, it's all been done before, but there's always an appeal.
I feel like she seems a little too impenetrable, so I would want to play around with that a little bit and make her not compromise that, but actually, like, but still where you can kind of see a little crack in the fiber. You know what I mean? Of who she is. And crack doesn't mean, oh, she's cracked, she's angry, which is usually how people try and show that somebody has a human side. That's not what I would want to do. But I think, like, because I like to do complex emotions, I would want to have something behind it all that makes you feel like you can get into her head a little bit.
But she's kind of, because she is so iconic, she's also, I mean, that's her character too. I mean, does she have very nuanced emotions, or is she kind of?
Oh, come on! You can make anybody nuanced.
Well, you can, but then
like because you can even, like, as simple as it is, you could even make a story about her always having to be that character.
You can make Superman come home after flying around Metropolis all day to Lois Lane, crying about how he wishes he could do more, and people
Superman,
have done that. But
I think Superman has a very human quality, because he always has to make hard decisions, and always tries and chooses the right one, and he always succeeds. But it's not like, but I think people always do show that side to him where he just feels a lot of pressure and he just wants to do the right thing. I think that's very,
but
like,
there's a goddess quality to Wonder Woman.
Exactly. She just kind of, like, figures it out. And I think, so yeah, I would like to kind of explore her as a human being a little more. I feel like she's just a little too goddess-like you said.
But see, to me, you have to, if you try to push back against that too much, it tends to just be a mess, But
I think I do it right. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I think you can do it if you're subtle.
Pants or no pants?
I think it could have been pants, but it's all about, like, the right kind of pants. I don't know that her pants were my favorite. But also, like, a lot of times when I don't like a costume, I try and just imagine how I would draw it. Because a lot of times if I just draw it right and I make it fit differently, like, figure out where the waist is going to go, that can totally change the style. This is going to bore dudes, but seriously, like, most things go about mid-waist. But, like, actually, if you want to make it stylish, you want it to either be, like, a higher waist or a lower waist. Like, lower waist was cool 10 years ago, so it's still kind of cool. And then high waist is, like, the latest craze, right? So it's like, if you can kind of, like, mix that into there, you can make just about anything look cool.
Golden Lasso's pretty cool too to draw.
Yeah,
it's roping up some trouble.
I mean, well, it has great, like, it has.
Yeah, they don't use as, like, all the cool visual stuff that Wonder Woman has, like the lasso. I mean, if you show the invisible jet, that's kind of stupid to portray in a comic book. I think maybe you could think of something cool. But like the lasso's great. I guess she uses her bracelets a lot to deflect bullets, but just, yeah, there's a lot of add-ons with Wonder Woman that are pretty good.
Yeah. No, the lasso obviously has like a lot of like Muka-esque capabilities.
Yeah, like or you can be fancy and say Alphonse Muka, or even if you're just like somebody who grew up reading 90s comics and look at Todd McFarlane's Spiderwebs, right? That lasso should be going all over the place.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Maybe she should, dude. You know what? Wonder Woman would be the best at rhythmic gymnastics. You know the gymnastics where they use the ribbon.
Yeah.
Dude, she would rock at it. You could actually look at that and use that as reference to do some pretty cool, like, rope formations. The possibilities are endless. No, I mean, like, I think there's a lot of cool things you can do with her, and I feel like mostly the subject matter that people do with her bores me a little bit.
That would be awesome. We got to do a story where it's just like her using the lasso all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Dude, she could be like an effing cowboy, you know what I mean? Like,
what does effing mean? What does that stand for?
It's like, I don't know. I think it stands for
F something?
Affable. Is that a word? Like a real word? I don't know. I'm digging myself a grave. Okay. So what else? What would you like to work on? Now it's your turn. We're gonna just pass it back and forth. It's like a campfire.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite character is like a campfire. What do you pass back and forth? At a campfire.
No, just like you tell ghost stories around the campfire.
Oh, okay.
And since there's only two of us, we're rotating, but it's just back and forth. So I'm saying that it's actually a rotation. I'm just blabbing now. You just tell me what you think.
My favorite character, I don't even know what I'm going to say about it, except that he's my favorite character, is Doctor Strange. But again, not a traditional superhero, right?
A lot of people like him.
Yeah, a lot of people like him, and then they pitch something for him, and then it doesn't work out, and then they say, well, everyone always thinks they're going to unlock Doctor Strange and make it a big success, and they don't. So it's very hard to get it approved with a publisher. You know what I mean? Like, oh, everyone thinks he's cool, but nobody ever buys it. Mm-hmm. And the reason is kind of, because they get Doctor Strange and say, I'm going to reinvent him, and I'll change his costume, I'll do this. There's nothing wrong with Doctor Strange, He's not Batman, but nobody else is Batman, or Wolverine. But just a guy who, casts spells, so he gets to draw, goes into other dimensions all the time, and has magical-based powers. Again, it's different, right? Because he's not wearing spandex and flying and punching people. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's different enough already that you don't have to find an angle on it,
Yeah.
And in a world full of, Fantastic Fours and Batman and Justice League and Flash and every other character, it's like, he can fit in and have his adventures, you know what I mean? So that's, so give me Doctor Strange, what would I do? Absolutely nothing. He'd be living in his Greenwich Village mansion with his manservant Wong, and, visiting the astral plane, getting high, fighting demons,
Hey. He's Marvel?
He is Marvel.
Okay. Cool.
Is he Marvel?
I said he is Marvel because I was trying to be cool, like I already knew.
There was a question mark implied.
Yeah, whatever. So,
but he's a great design, I think. You know what I mean? It's everything works with Doctor Strange. I don't know. You've seen Doctor Strange. You don't care. He's just a dime a dozen.
I get mixed up the look of him. I get mixed up between him and Ra's al Ghul.
They're kind of the same.
Okay, because it seems like they both have like this cape that has like a complex like trim around it that's golden.
Sure.
So yeah, it's a little hard for me. Yeah, don't they both have interesting pokey facial hair?
They do, kind of.
Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul doesn't have any powers other than like he doesn't die, but
No, yeah.
Ra's al Ghul can wear all kinds of good things, and Ra's al Ghul doesn't really have a costume.
Truthfully, I just don't really know anything about Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yep.
What is there to know?
He's magic, I guess.
He shoots rainbows out of his fingers. He summons dragons.
Nice.
He rides on clouds.
Nice.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool. He seems like he has like a little bit of like the Aladdin in him.
He's just basically a wizard in the, in the Marvel universe. That's all. I mean, that's because that's not really filled by anybody else. It's him,
That's cool.
He has certain, artifacts that he uses. This is the Eye of Agamotto and certain things.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you care?
I don't care.
Doctor Strange doesn't do it for you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I feel like
So we could do Hulk, we can do Wonder Woman, but no dice
no,
on Doctor
I'm
Strange.
sure I would like to do Doctor Strange. It just seems. Here's what it is. Here's what bothers me. Now I realize it.
His name?
It just seems too all encompassing. There's too much he could do. To me, it's not defined well enough for me. So it could probably be really cool, but it's just kind of like, oh, he just does magic. You know what I mean? Like, if you'd grown up knowing him, then it's different. It's like Merlin. Like Merlin, I get, right? But I didn't grow up with Doctor Strange, so I'm like, okay.
But he lives on 166A Bleecker Street.
Yeah, I know. You always tell me that he lives around here.
He lives right next to Amy.
Yeah, he's my neighbor. He's my nabe. Is it on this side of 6th Avenue?
No, it would be.
Yeah, it's down
south
into
of the
Greenwich
park.
Village. Yeah.
Little insider New York mapping right there.
Yeah, so for you New Yorkies out there.
Bleecker Street's kind of cool because it's not on the grid.
Yeah, I live in this weird maze of a place and nobody knows where they're going. But I know where they're going, so I help people out a lot.
You're like a superhero.
I'm like a superhero. I help people.
You're direction lady.
I'm direction lady. I should have a big D on my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll tell you that like I have like some obscure characters that I think about doing.
Right.
But it's mostly because I want to try and draw them and see what happens. Big Barda seems kind of cool just
Not
because
that obscure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, her costume is so crazy with the headdress and stuff. I don't even know how it works in a 3D realm, so I would like to recreate it.
But it sounds like you would, not costume-wise, but physique-wise, that you would push, not all the way, but Wonder Woman you would push towards Big Barda. Or no?
Yes. Well, yeah, she's supposed to be big. In my opinion, she's supposed to be big.
Right.
I think that's cool. I think that's positive.
But Big Barda, a few people, one or more, a few people have asked you, or?
Just one person, but I was like
We're
so
talking about
excited
commissions.
about it. Yeah, not commissions, but just like quick head sketches.
Right.
He had me do Big Barda, and I was so excited about it. I don't know. It just really was a cool design, and it's so gaudy. You know what I mean? It'd be really cool to just do I mean, it's kind of an awful design in a way, but then it's awesome at the same time. No offense to like Jack Kirby, who's obviously like everybody's favorite and he's a master and all that stuff. But you know, he did some pretty. Everybody loves his designs, but I think they're kind of insane, and some of them don't really work. In
It certainly
3D
got more insane by the time he was doing Big Barda at DC, yeah,
Okay.
and the Forever people.
He just ran out of ideas or something.
Well, he didn't keep it simple anymore, you know,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
You know what I really hate is when artists design costumes who don't care at all about anybody else having to draw it.
Yeah.
Like one time I had to do this House of Mystery special.
Right.
And there's this artist, the cover artist was the one who's going to design this mask that we were all supposed to use. But he's a cover artist, so he doesn't ever have to redraw things over and over again.
This is House of Mystery Annual #1.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he just drew this thing, and like I did not have any idea how to draw it in a 3D
Right.
space. You know, it was just like he just was like, "Well, this looks cool," and
Yeah,
you couldn't
it-
even tell what certain things were on the mask.
Yeah, it looks cool when it's a close-up taking up an entire page on the cover. but
Yeah.
It's hard to move around.
Oh, it was so frustrating. I was like, you know, I'm sure he's great, a great guy, but I was just cursing him the whole time because I was just.
I don't know if
like,
that's his fault, you know what I mean?
No, it's
It
not.
should be organized a little bit better.
They really should have. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. But, yeah, so Big Barda would be fun. I want to do Dolphin Girl, because, I mean, I know she's not a mermaid, but, like, she feels like a mermaid to me, the idea of her. And I like that she has cutoff shorts and like, a tied-up shirt. Is, like, kind of, like, cheesecake as it is. It's also
I think
so...
she's just called Dolphin.
Oh, yeah, it is just Dolphin, you're right.
This is just from Amy flipping through the
Yeah,
DC Encyclopedia.
But I flipped... It wasn't just this recent time that I flipped through it. It was actually, like... a few years back when I was in the bookstore flipping through it because I was too poor to buy it. and like it just immediately jumped out at me. Just the, you know, she's all blue with blonde hair and like I just felt like even though it's a little bit cheesecake, you could draw it where it doesn't feel that way, in my opinion.
Get Dan DiDio on the horn. Say I'm sure Dolphin hasn't appeared yet in the new 52.
Nope. And they're trying.
How would you
doing a lot with
How would
Aquaman.
you New 52 Dolphin?
Well, I mean, obviously they're gonna want her to have something to do with Aquaman.
Besides putting a collar.
Oh, collar on her neck?
They all have the
Oh, they do.
the Justice
all the
League
mer
all
people.
have all the Justice League have matching collars. It's kind of like it's like a
Oh, I see. Yeah, where like that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
that thing for
I'm doing the motion of the Mandarin collar.
Is that what it's called?
Well, I mean that's one way to describe it.
Right.
Yeah, with the like the Mandarin shirt.
How would you New 52 Dolphin? What does she need?
She doesn't need
What
a
does she
whole lot.
need? Well,
That's what's so great about her is she's so casual. She just looks like she's from a Gidget movie. That's what I like so much about her. She's just wearing jeans. We need to have more of that.
that's not what New 52 is all about.
Oh yeah? Well, what about Superman in jeans? Because he was wearing jeans.
He was, and that's true. That's true.
And the irony was that nobody knows how to draw jeans in comics, but like
fighting words.
but but yeah.
Most men don't know how to wear jeans, according to you, though.
No, like they should be able to draw men in jeans, though.
No, but your point is that men don't usually look good in jeans in real life. I'm saying
That's not true.
no.
No.
All right.
Yeah. You know who draws men in jeans really well? Fionastaples.
You.
I keep mentioning her because she likes to listen to podcasts. And when I told her,
You're hoping that she's gonna.
No, but I saw her at Denver Comic Con, and I was telling her how we had mentioned her in a podcast, and she like freaked out. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. She's so nice. I don't know. So maybe we'll just string her along if we mention Fiona once every podcast.
Maybe you guys can get together on a Dolphin.
Yeah. Oh, because she did this. She did the
Dolphin
mermaid
/
thing.
Big Barda team up.
Yeah.
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 All right. Who would make that? You needed 3 on a team. Who would be the third? Big Barda, Dolphin, and.
Oh. Big Barda, Dolphin.
Right. What balances those two out?
Why do you ask such hard questions?
I just figured the first thing that popped into your head you would say. I didn't think you'd actually think about it.
Well, I mean,
I just thought there's maybe somebody else you wanted to draw and would just. That was my kind of like I was soft pitching.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it has to be a small character. Madame Xanadu. Just throw her in there.
Cop out.
I know.
What's a male character you want to draw?
Well, Aquaman, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why I'd want to draw
Would you
him.
go crazy with like the fish too? Because you have to, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I'm really into underwater stuff, so.
Like it would be just about drawing the fish. Not that I draw, but it would be.
Well,
like,
I will say that Batwoman, like the second cover I did for issue 7,
Right.
like there's like a fish in it because it's partially underwater or whatever, and I spent a lot of time on that fish. I was pretty proud of that fish. There's a close up of the fish. So.
Aquaman, but not Namor the Submariner for Marvel.
I mean, just I'm more familiar with DC characters is all. I know that I believe that Becky Cloonan did that though and did an awesome job. So I also wouldn't want to step on that at all.
Oh yeah, Namor.
Well, she did something like somebody who seemed Aquaman-esque.
Yeah.
And it was really, and she wrote it too, and she also lettered it, and it was like the letters were all like in color, and
Right.
like the color scheme was like all blue and magenta. It was really cool.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well you'll have to look it up. So yeah, I wouldn't want to step on that at all. But I don't know. I kind of have a little bit of a crush on Aquaman. So that's part of it. I don't know why I would want to draw it though, because those scales would be a pain. But you tell another one. I got one after you, but you give me another.
You got another one, but it's not going to be part of your team of.
It's less obscure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I got Hulk and I got Doctor Strange, right? So
Yeah.
if I went over to DC, who would I want to write? You know who would be cool to write would be Flash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
So I
heard
always
you say
thought,
that.
yeah, I don't really think about it too much, but Flash, or Hawkman. Hawkman would be cool too. I'm just thinking out loud. But
Hawkman's costume is horrendous.
Hawkman has the best costume.
Are you kidding me?
Period. Full stop. Ever.
Well, just because you like things ironically.
First of all, I don't know what I like ironically, and second of all, there is no irony in. Hawkman's got a hairy chest and a pair of wings strapped on.
Now it's so gaudy. Doesn't he have like wings on his helmet even?
No, he's got
double pair of wings.
He's got like a hawk face on his helmet.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's so like gaudy, and it's all gold, right?
No, well, that's like the new one is all. No, he just has like wings and a hawk mask.
I don't know what it is. I just don't like it.
He carries
it's so
a big
70s.
He carries a big mace and he just smashes people. And sometimes he's a cop from outer space, and sometimes he's an archaeologist, and sometimes he's like 15 different origins. That it's always great when somebody tries to make them all make sense. Also, yeah. But no, Flash as a writer.
That gives you a lot of opening on how to write him, I guess.
Yeah, Flash as a writer would be cool because it would be nice to collaborate with an artist on Flash because it's so hard to
come up with stories for him.
Well, no. To indicate speed, right? I mean, it's,
sure.
By heart, I mean a cool challenge and cool stories.
Yeah.
But Flash would be much cooler. You know what I mean?
Dude, somebody in anime style should draw the Flash.
Well, Francis Manipul's doing it. I guess he's not really an anime style, but he's not.
Yeah, I mean more
he's not super traditional either.
I mean like Akira style speed lines.
Yeah, but just to be able to, like I said, depict speed in kind of a static medium is cool. Maybe that's a visual thing, but I think as a writer, you can come up with cool stuff as well. And, somebody who's so fast that he can be in two places at once, or, you know what I mean? It'd be like, what's he ever doing? You could be sitting there talking to Flash, and maybe he's, like, in between every blink of your eye. Yeah. He's like, he's going to China and hitting on girls on the Great Wall or something like that. And, like, he ain't really paying attention,
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like, that's a nice little, like, character thing about him.
But that I feel is not exploited,
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a lot of Flash stories begin and end at, I can run faster than that train that's going to run over.
Well, to be truthful, it is a pretty boring, like genesis of a character.
They've really expanded the Flash to make his whole family's the Flash.
I know,
his wife,
let's
his
make
girlfriend.
more people who can run fast because that was already such a great idea.
And let's make his mom was responsible for that Flashpoint miniseries that led into New 52 and everything else. But Frank Miller said something, and as a writer, Frank Miller's a big influence. Where he says, nobody cares about Flash's family. They just care about him running fast. And I said, that's a good way to approach the Flash. All due respect to the people who've fleshed out the Flash's world.
Yeah.
But I would like to take Flash to such basic thing where everything is just about him running around. So
I like that. What's funny is I always thought the Flash was ridiculous, but Josh Middleton did this one cover.
Because Hawkman's great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna stop saying whatever I was gonna say.
You want to do Hawkman with me?
No, I don't know.
Hawkgirl?
I mean,
Hawkgirl's a great costume.
Really? I feel like they both look terrible.
Well, they're exactly the same.
I mean, I guess it's cool if you think about it Flash Gordon style and those one guys with the wings and how ridiculous they look.
There you go.
I'll tell you, I know I already sort of worked on this, but I never did any Supergirl interiors. So I would have really liked to have done that just because, it's kind of weird doing covers.
We wanted to do a Supergirl Jimmy Olsen story.
That's right, we did. And Jimmy Olsen was going to, think that he could tell Supergirl what to do and solve all the problems.
And she wouldn't show him up.
Yeah, no, I felt because when I draw characters, I feel like I gotta really understand them, right? I gotta really capture their essence. I want people when they read it to go, oh my gosh, that totally is her. You know what I mean? I don't want them to feel like, oh, it's just a different artist and you have to be open-minded. I want it to totally be that character. So, I spent a lot of, time just kind of investing myself in it without actually drawing interiors, and it kind of bummed me out a little bit. I mean, not a ton, but I thought maybe one day I'll draw the character, and then of course they changed the character. But I actually have a one shot that I imagined for her, and I'm thinking maybe I should just share it because it's not like it's ever gonna happen, Is that crazy?
What, draw it? What are you talking about?
Just talk about what it was going to be.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Well, now you have to.
Yeah. Okay. So my idea, because I just want like a romance with her and a normal person, not a superhero.
Jimmy Olsen.
Not Jimmy Olsen. I'm saying like I'm so tired of superheroes just talking to other superheroes, and even just sidekicks like Jimmy Olsen. You know, it's like they're the only people. I like it when the story's mostly about a superhero and their interactions with human beings and not and dealing with not being the same as them. To me, that's still really interesting. I don't know if people are like bored with that or what, but especially for a teenager, that's everything. It's like, it's the world how other kids your age react to you.
Are you going to find out that her boyfriend is really a robot made by Lex Luthor?
No, exactly, no.
Because that would be pretty cool. That's what you're missing.
Yeah,
in your
I guess.
story.
No, mine is just a simple story, so maybe you'll hate it, but
I'd like it more if he was a robot. That's I have to be honest.
He's just trying to piss me off, I think. But like, yeah, no, the idea was gonna be like she's all into science. See, so I wanted to talk about all the things that make her a human. You know what I mean?
She's
and
not
just,
human. She's Kryptonian.
You're right. You're right. But you know what I mean? A person and human, but not human. Okay, so she's all into science, right? So I was like, why don't we make her in school? And she did something really awesome. Like she made it into some sort of like scholarship, right? That involves like NASA, right?
Well, that's kind of an unfair advantage.
Well, why? Because she's smarter than everybody, or just
Yeah.
because she can already go into space?
Both.
Well, I was going to use the whole thing that she can go into space. It is kind of unfair, but she knows a lot and she's excited about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she ended up like, so she was in this contest, like smartest kid wins kind of thing, to actually get a chance to go up and blast off to the moon.
So she's gonna like take some regular kid who could never go to the moon's spot on the space shuttle.
Will you listen? Oh my gosh. Like, can you please listen? I'm
what
not
an
done
asshole.
yet. Oh, I hate you.
No,
okay.
not you. I mean her.
But that's not what she does. And now you're making me spoil it before I actually get to tell the story. You're
Are you
the
gonna
worst
tell the whole
storyteller.
story?
Yeah, but
Oh,
it
I
wasn't
see.
going to be long except that you keep interrupting.
I'm just trying to
Oh.
stop people from snoozing while you explain the plot
gosh.
of your dream
F
story.
you, man.
What does F stand for?
It just means F. Okay, so like EFF, it means ever friends forever.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. So anyway, so like yeah, so she's out doing this competition and there's a bunch of other kids and she meets this one guy that she likes, you know, and he's the smartest, but she's smarter than him.
And he's not a robot.
And he's not a robot.
He's a regular
just
guy.
a normal person.
Right.
That
What's
she
his name?
falls for. I don't know. I didn't go that far, but you see, you're the one who's making it longer. So she basically like purposefully doesn't win because it would be unfair, you know. Unfortunately, the one problem with that is that a lot of girls do actually like purposefully score badly in science and math. So I guess
So it's like a true story but a bad message.
yeah. So maybe that's a problem. But like so yeah, he ends up winning this contest, and the contest is to blast off into space and like land on the moon, be the youngest person ever to land on the moon. So it's I hadn't fully fleshed it out, but it's gonna be something where he gets into trouble and she actually saves him, and it's a little romantic, but I also wanted to play around with the dichotomy that they used to have with superheroes, where like they have their alias, they have their fake persona and then her superhero persona.
You're right
Which one does he like more and all that kind of stuff.
You're right that was a completely artificial device that almost never works, so people kind of abandon it now. But it would be cool to force yourself as a creator to use it. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, why
like, no, I agree. It's like I see, Spider-Man. Oh, I can't afford to pay my rent this week. It's completely contrived because he's got superpowers. He's like a brilliant scientist who can invent anything he wants. He should be able to do all right for himself. And then I remember Firestorm came out. I think at some point DC relaunched it, and they wanted it, and they were really going off that Spider-Man vibe. and he can like control molecules. So he can find a brick and turn it into a brick of gold and say, "Oh, I don't have to work." But somehow he had to learn the integrity of getting a job. You know what I mean? It was like, well, why? He's like, isn't his time better spent saving the world rather than working at Dwayne Reed as a checkout guy?
I mean, that makes sense for that, except that the point with Supergirl is that she really wants to have the teenage experience.
Well, I'm saying it'd be nice to work under those constraints.
Yeah.
And not butcher it like some people do because they feel they were forced to.
Yeah. No, I really felt like I hadn't even decided which one he falls for, whether it's Supergirl or Kara.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be one or the other, And anyway, it would have been cute and romantic.
Too late now.
It's too late now, so I'm just explaining
everything comes back. You do it.
Yeah, maybe one day. Don't steal my ideas, okay?
Get Eddie Berganza on the horn. I think he's the new Superman group editor.
Oh, good to know. Anyway, so
I'm going to give you a character that I want to see you draw, and that gives you some time to think about a character you want me to write.
Okay.
But you have to also answer the question and think at the same time.
Oh, no.
Which I know is hard for you.
Yeah.
It's two things. That's the index finger and the middle finger. 2. 1, 2.
Brandon?
Wouldn't it be cool if Amy did Fantastic Four? They're a family. They interact. Every issue should have them sitting at sitting at the breakfast table.
Yeah.
Talking about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
One's the brother of another one. One's married to it. Family dynamics.
Yeah.
You hate you got such a look on your face.
I have something against the Fantastic Four.
You can do so much with the elements: earth, wind, fire, and water.
I didn't even realize that's what they were. Isn't there just like a stretchy man in it?
He's water, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I.
You can throw Galactus in there.
Yeah. Here's the problem, is that
you have a brother and sister that you get to
exposure-
draw kind of this,
I didn't even realize they were brother and sister. My only exposure to Fantastic Four was that movie, and I just couldn't stand it. And I never have liked Jessica Alba. I feel like she's a mean person.
Well, that's,
I don't know why I think that, but...
I think that's called jealousy, but,
No, there's just certain people that I'm like, I feel like they're mean. But...
Pretty people aren't mean.
Well, I think there's plenty of pretty people that I think are nice. I don't think it's because she's... Well, I actually know somebody that she picked on in high school.
But the thing... Who, Jessica Alba?
Yeah,
What are you,
I knew a girl
famous
in
high school?
college.
I see.
She was from California.
Maybe she was jealous.
Maybe. So,
Maybe she grew up in
But it just kind of stuck on me because I got picked on. So, I kind of like... Jessica Alba's a bully.
So therefore, Fantastic Four,
She would throw things at this girl.
Jessica Alba's a
Brandon.
contest, so Amy...
We can't say that word here.
You can say that word in England all you want.
That's true. Let's pretend we're in England, guys. Yeah, so I don't know. So I always picture Jessica Alba, and I'm like, ugh. But, yeah, I guess it would be cool. I'd like to do teams. I mean, I think I would be good at teams. I'm good at having people interact with each other.
Well, they are the team.
Yeah, they are. You're right. They are the team. It's like everything else, it's like they just make a team because it's like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? But those guys are, meant to be a team, which is pretty sweet. Okay, well, I wish you would write... Well, I wasn't thinking of that.
Oh, I can do two things at once. Don't mock me.
I didn't know what you meant by that. I thought you meant just think about what you were telling me.
What is as opposed to just keeping your mouth moving?
You gotta just be nice. Just be nice.
Don't be like Jessica Alba.
Don't be like Jessica Alba. Let's see. I would like to see you...
Nah, it's phony now.
I wanted to see you write Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to be a big fan when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
It was not of the cartoon. It was of the book.
Yeah.
So the edgier.
I see.
I mean, edgier, but it never took itself seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was kind of the fun of it. The savagely violent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I feel like you're good at teams too. And does it have a little humor, the comic book? or?
Well, not in the way that it got translated.
Oh, okay.
Not the way the humor got translated into the cartoon.
Yeah, I see. Because
I'm
think you do
brilliantly
humor
funny.
very well.
Well, yeah. Well, I am.
I also, speaking of humor, do you like The Tick?
No.
I do.
How sweet would Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles be with Brandon Montclare writing, Henry Flint drawn?
That would be very good.
Yeah.
Because, that would be very good.
Let's
Henry
call
Flint's
Chris
great.
Ryle at IDW.
Dude,
get on that.
Maybe you should. For real, you should probably talk to him. You probably shouldn't have even said it on here. You probably should have just done it. That's a really good idea.
I don't know if Henry likes them.
Dude, he totally would like them. Are you kidding me? Even if he didn't grow up with it since he's a little bit older, right?
I think
he would still think it's pretty sweet. And I think I can just imagine he's so good with his inking, Oh, it'd be really good.
Henry Flint is, I've said it plenty of times before, and I could say it, well, he's a great artist, the most underrated of artists, because he's really good and he gets some, he certainly gets his share of acclaim, but he should be getting even more because he is tops.
Paul Pope loves him.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. He didn't, right, that's right. Paul Pope didn't know his stuff until he saw it on Haunted Tank, but had a lot of good stuff. So everyone loves his stuff. He's an amazing artist.
Yeah.
He should be
And
doing more.
his art is pretty awesome too.
If you had to have somebody write Fantastic Four for you,
okay,
who would it be?
You?
Yeah, besides me, because, I'm getting sick of writing for you.
Let's see. I don't know. Me?
Nice.
I don't know. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Joss Whedon.
Yeah?
Because he's good at teams, too. I think he's really good. But I don't know that I've ever read his comics, so I don't really know if he's good at comics. So...
People dig him.
People do dig him, but I don't know if I would in comics form or not. But I think he's very good at people interacting with each other. Although he does better, the longer something runs. So...
You know who else I dig in comics?
What's that?
Chris Robinson.
Chris Robinson is the best. Thank you for always editing these podcasts and making them sound great.
You can locate Chris Robinson at Chris Robinson on Twitter.
Yes, take a look.
Amy's at AmyReeder.
Mm-hmm. And Brandon is at BMontclare.
Yeah, I switch it up.
MONTCLARE.
Right, and a B.
Well, yeah.
B first.
Be first. Be first. Montclair second. Now you'll remember.
Now no one will ever forget.
All right, take it away, Chris.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye.
Right now, I need right now.